Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. Today I wanted to do something new, and I had decided this last year itself because I used to get a lot of questions regarding what are the books you read, and especially after I did a video in which I said I read 57 books, was it 57 non-fiction books last year in 2018. I got a lot of questions about suggestions for books to read, especially non-fiction ones, and I thought that this year I would commit to sharing some books with you, and the best way to do that would be to do it every single month. So every month look out for this video, which would be my book recommendations. From next month onwards I'll try to film this at the beginning of the month so that you have the whole month to kind of get the book or read the book if you want to, and you don't have to follow along as such. But if you're anytime thinking about what to read, then you can just look up this video or these series of videos and you can see some suggestions for books to read, and these are books that I personally am reading or have read, and so I'm going to share that with you. If you want to keep up with this book series, you can like this video, subscribe to my channel, and look out for the Read with Rhoda videos, which will come up every single month, hopefully in the first week going forward. So this month I have 2 book recommendations, not because I didn't read many books, but because I just wanted to start this year with just 2 recommendations of books that I loved in the last year. Now one of them is a book I finished reading, one of them is a book that I'm still reading and still learning from, but I have loved both of them, and these are my recommendations for this January. Now the first book is a book that you would have seen everywhere. It's all over the place, no matter which country you go to. It's on all the book stands, it's on all the talk shows, it's what everybody was talking about last year, and that is this book, which is Becoming by Michelle Obama. Now this book, I think I saw it everywhere. I didn't pick it up at first, but I kept reading about it and listening about it on a lot of podcasts and talk shows, and I felt that I should read this book. And I do not know whether finally I picked this book up or somebody in my family did. I think somebody in my family did, but I finally got this in my house and I picked it up and started reading, and I finished it in record time. It's an easy read because it's a biography, but what I loved about the book was not only knowing what happened. Like, a lot of biographies are not only stories of people's lives and facts about people's lives, but about their mindset and why they made the choices they did in their life. That's what I liked about this book as well, was that it was filled with a lot of context. It was filled with a lot of reasoning of why we did this or why we made these decisions. And to see her journey of her life and her family's life, from thinking about themselves and their development and their growth and how they stand in society, to thinking about the world at large, was something that I really connected with, because I think I had a similar journey in my thinking, and I believe in a similar thing, that you start with yourself, you develop yourself, you work on yourself, but eventually yourself is to serve others. And so I really resonated with that, and I enjoyed reading it, and it's something that is an easy read, but it has a lot of meat and message in it. So if you're someone who's not used to non-fiction, this would be a good book to start with, because it's a biography. Biographies are always easier, and biographies of people who have a lot of depth in their life is something that I personally enjoy more than biographies of people who only limit their lives to their successes, I guess. And so this is a very good place to start if you are someone looking to venture into non-fiction. Now my second recommendation, which is called Letting Go by David Hawkins. I don't have the physical copy on me because I've been reading it on Audible or listening to it on Audible, so I have it here on my phone. Yeah, that is Letting Go, The Pathway of Surrender by David Hawkins. If you don't know anything about David Hawkins, he was a renowned psychiatrist. He was also a researcher. He was into science, and he was also a spiritual guide or a philosopher, you can call him. And so he had the science as well as the psychology interest and what I could gain from his books. So he's written many books, and this is, I think, one of the last ones, or the last one, I'm not too sure. He has done a lot of research in the field of consciousness. He has a lot of knowledge, and he has written all of his books with that research knowledge to share it with us. Now, what's different about this book specifically is he's written it in an easier way, I would say, than he has written his other books. So I have read one of his other books, and this is definitely less clinical than his other books, but this book has all the same concepts as his other book, but is more practical. And what I mean by practical is he talks about how we as humans can rise above all the base emotions that we have, like jealousy, anger, greed, all these emotions that kind of take over our lives, and he teaches us how we can let go of those level of emotions and go to a higher level of experiencing life with emotions such as courage, acceptance, joy. And that really made me continue reading this book and continue learning and gaining from this book, because it's a vast book. But even if you read the first chapter, I bet you your life will change if you take in what he says, because he talks about how we as humans can deal with our negative emotions. He doesn't just say that negative emotions are bad and positive emotions are good, and these emotions are something that are pulling you down and these are what will lift you up. He talks about how do we deal, how can we let go of things that are stopping us from being our best self. And if you in this new year want to take that step towards being your best self, or take that step towards just being a better individual and being in control of your life and not letting circumstances and emotions and feelings take over your life, then this is the book to read. Because surrender for all of us is very hard, very difficult, very unnatural, we think. But when we surrender, when we let go, we open ourselves up to life. And if we, or if you want to experience life, if you want to experience true joy and happiness, satisfaction, meaning, purpose, transcendence, then we need to let go of all our emotional experiences that stop us from experiencing what we should be experiencing. And so if that is something that is your goal this new year, then this is one of the best places to start. And so these are two of my recommendations for this January. I hope that you pick any of these two books up. Keep this in mind, that if there is something that you want to do with your life, if there is something that you want to improve on, reading a book and applying what you've learned is the best way to start. If you're looking for specific books on specific topics, you can just leave those topics down below and I will try to help you if I can, whether it's in the next video or just replying to your comments, because I have a family who reads and I have people who read around me, and so I can always ask them if I don't know. There's a lot that you can read depending on your life situation currently and what you're trying to learn or do. If you have something that you are specifically looking for, don't forget to leave a comment down below, and don't forget to like this video, subscribe to my channel, and look out for more Read with Rhoda videos coming to you every single month of 2019.